Hey traders, how's it going? It's Scott with a member-only video briefing this Sunday, December 15th. Let's dive into what's shaping the markets this week, and we'll start with Friday's action and some key takeaways heading into Monday. So looking at the profile, Friday's session showed value lower, clearly lower, with two unrepaired distributions that occurred in both B period and C period. So the high of those single prints are going to be at the 60.73 area, and buyers will need to get above that, level to regain control of the two-way auction. Both the time point of control on Friday and the volume point of control, which were very close in proximity, were below the day's halfback. So, that does indicate that sellers maintained control for most of the session. And additionally, the low at 60.41 and a quarter is poor, as it lacks the required minimum 2 ticks of excess. So since hitting the all-time high on the 6th of December at 61.11, ES has been one time framing lower over the past 2 trading sessions. So we hit the all-time high on the 11th. It's poor, it lacks excess. We had another high on the 11th high that I just was talking about is also poor, it lacks excess. We have the poor low, it lacks excess. So a lot of incomplete auctions, and that does let us know that, we have, at the moment, smaller time frame participants kind of controlling the action. And so we'll see if longer time frames are going to come in and sell or get us back to new highs. It's I'm not paying too much attention at the moment, though, to the fact that the all-time high has no excess. I'm at peace with that for now. So, Peter mentioned in the weekend edition this weekend, which I highly suggest you watch if you have not, it was great, that it's okay to have a neutral stance heading into the week. And I fully agree. So until buyers can regain control, the lower value and the distributions are going to demand my respect. Now, if we switch over to NQ, was a little bit of a different story. Friday's value was overlapping to higher, and we made new all-time highs on Friday at 21,907. However, it was the way we made them and how the index, sharply sold off after achieving the highs. We sold off almost, under 300 points, but in that area, between the 200 to 300 point area and sell off in just, a 2-hour span. So I'm looking at Friday in 2 auctions. This auction above the day's halfback, and the second auction, the one that's below the day's halfback, where sellers were in, definite control. Now, unlike ES, NQ does not have lower value, which I, talked about, and it doesn't have unrepaired distributions. But the way it sold off after getting that 21,900 area, it does show how volatile NQ can be. And it's, another reminder how important stops are. Absolutely critical. You can always re-enter, but first and foremost, protecting capital. Now, if we move on to internals for Friday, December 13th, they weren't inspiring. This is the iceberg again. Yeah, I just want to highlight, this is going to be the second trading session in a row. The absence of any positivity in the early start, and then a little, oversold bounce here, and then again, nothing. All the paint, really to the downside of the day. And then in the afternoon, it did start to become more two-sided. And that could be because sellers were, of the shorter time frame, were closing out their shorts. And how do they close? They buy. So it was giving some buying pressure. But it's the second day in the row that the ticks, really did tell the tale. You have cumulative tick of negative 47,765. With that said, there were no extreme ticks. So even when we were moving down, earlier in the day, there were no plus or minus 1,000 ticks. And in terms of advanced declines lines, we were negative 959 NYSE and 1,406 NASDAQ. 9 of 11 sectors closed below their opening prints. And this is now a recurring theme. So internals have been weak, and the market, being near all-time highs. And that divergence has me pausing and adopting a more neutral viewpoint right now. Being open to both possibilities of continuation to the upside or to the downside. On Monday, we do have some data, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Empire State Manufacturing Survey, 9:45 a.m., the S&P U.S. Flash Services PMI and Manufacturing PMI. And then the big story this week is going to be the FOMC meeting, where there is a 100% probability of a 25 basis point rate cut priced in, according to the CME group. And any deviation from these expectations could rattle the markets. So stay alert. Closing thoughts. We have mixed signals. ES and NQ are sitting near all-time highs, but with weak internals and unresolved technical levels. The key going forward is continuation. Will buyers step up, or will sellers push this auction lower? I'm going to stay neutral. I'm going to respect the levels and manage my trades carefully, especially considering the kind of volatility we saw in the NQ on Friday. Stops in place, re-enter if needed. I'll see you in the room on Monday. Peace. Hey, this is Scott Schneider from the Futures Room over at ShadowTrader's Live Trading Suite. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you'd like to trade live with me in real time, please click the link in the description below. Have a great day and happy trading.